weird thing about this whole thing. It really bugged me. Turns out it wasn't just illegals at this Amnesty rally outside the White House yesterday. Outside the White House. Unions were there, too. Tracy Burns says big labor should be worried about finding legal Americans jobs, but Philip Dine disagrees. Philip is the author of State of the Unions. All right, so your concern is what with this union presence?
I mean, you give these guys amnesty, they're going to flood the market and take up all the jobs that the unions are vying for right now. Their membership is down. They're desperate at this point. I know they're already disheartened with this president. I'm surprised this doesn't turn them more against his policies, because I think they're going to come in and clean up anything that the union has left.
All right, Phil, what are we to make of how unions are so closely and intimately involved with illegals in trying to make this happen?
Hey, Neil. Good to be with you. Tracy made a good point. They should be worried about American jobs, but it's not that simple. For a long time, unions did focus on, American jobs and were very tough in immigration. But that doesn't really work any longer because these folks are here. And if they're unrepresented and if they're exploitable, vulnerable to exploitation by corporations because they're scared of their legal status, they'll take jobs for less money and they'll drive down wages of American workers, the very ones
well, why
labor
not punish the American companies that allow that to even happen?
Well, see, they need to have a dual-track thing. You're exactly right. They need, on one hand, to represent these workers so they're not exploitable. On the other hand, they need to try to get lawmakers of both parties to finally actually solve a problem, because as long as the system of immigration is broken, you're going to have this kind of chaos.
But the problem is, illegals are marching outside the White House for rights they're not entitled to, Trace.
Right, and they've already pushed prices down, if you ask me. I mean, they're already working under the table for cash in all sorts of businesses. So wages have come down because of them to begin with. I mean, I don't know why we would support this for our whole economic system here, between healthcare and social issues and wage issues in general. I would think that the unions would be completely against this.
But the unions also get the benefit of paying customers, right?
Presuming they can recruit them, I suppose, then yes, they can increase their membership. So maybe there is a perk for them, but I can't imagine illegals are going to come rush our borders and go join all the unions.
Well, but maybe you can help me with this part, Phil. I mean, you get thousands of new customers, albeit at lower pay, but it's volume for the unions. Is that how they're playing this?
No, look, it's not a question of customers. As Tracy said, they already are driving wages down, so the status quo is not working for anybody, including labor. Labor needs to represent these.
Where are they driving those wages down, Phil?
In construction and yard work, anywhere where they can take jobs, get paid in cash, paid by the day. They're taking jobs from American workers and they're driving wages down. Unions need to represent the workers that are here. It's not unions' fault that workers are here. It's Republicans' fault who want cheap labor, and it's Democrats' fault who want votes in the future.
Well, Democrats like cheap labor too, right? I mean, they can get it
yeah,
themselves.
But corporate Wall Street likes cheap labor. Democrats want the votes. Unions aren't to blame. Unions need to represent the workers that are here, and unions need to pressure both parties to act like grown-ups and fix this problem.
But the problem really is the border.
The problem is completely the border. I think we need to secure it first and then deal with the people that are here. Until we secure it, we're never going to get a handle on this.
They talk past each other.
They really
that doesn't
do.
happen.
They really do. And I mean, and to your point, there's been many a Democrat that hasn't paid a nanny tax. So nobody is dealing with this properly right now. And this is a bipartisan issue across the board. Secure the border, deal with the people that are here. Otherwise, they're going to cripple this country.
Phil, here's the weird thing about it. When I see illegals marching on the White House and no one from ICE or anyone else shows up to round them up, so either we've given up or our jails are full or we're just not interested in returning illegals back to wherever. So it seems like a collective shrug on all Washington officialdom's part.
Absolutely. This started, well, it didn't start, but it exacerbated under Ronald Reagan, who gave him amnesty. It's continued under every president of every party. Nobody's willing to fix the problem. And Tracy's absolutely right. The problem needs to be fixed, but you can't blame unions for wanting to stop workers who have been let in to the country from being exploited, because that hurts them.
You don't think
and it hurts
unions are exploiting them now, doing this very thing?
100%
not. One exploitation for another?
It's not a question of, they're just saying you got to do something. If you're going to let tacitly, we've let these workers in here. We could stop this. We've let them in here for the reasons I mentioned. Both parties gain something. If the workers are here, they need to be protected.
I don't know. Illegal is legal is illegal.
Yeah. But then you get someone like Jerry Brown making sanctuary cities, and these guys are getting a pass. So to your point, everyone's talking over each other. No one's fixing the problem.
No one rounding anyone up. But all right, guys, thank you both very, very much. In the meantime, take a seat, because after another plane is diverted over a reclining seat, well, I say this, this is bull seat.